big news that's going on right now. And this is something I really want to get into. There is a bill. It's called the Green Light Bill. Okay. And I was just having a conversation just a minute ago about this because it aggravates me. Everyone gets told these wonderful stories. The Green Light Bill. Did you hear about that? The Green Light Bill. There is no such thing as a Green Light Bill. There is a bill that is in front of the Senate right now in New York State that just got approved. Okay. And this is the A3675. So if you want to look it up, because no one in the media wants to tell you about it, the bill is A3675. It's in the Senate. It's going to the New York State Senate under S1747. You can look it up. You'll be able to find the bill. This is a big deal. This is the illegals driver license bill. That's what it is. Okay. And they call it green light. So it gives it a nice, happy little package to it, but it's not happy and it's not a little thing. What this bill, now there's been a couple of things going on with this for quite some time now. One of the first things that you got to understand is that this bill passed the New York State Assembly as of yesterday. According to John Salka, one of the Assembly members, he mentioned, background noise there. He mentioned that this passed 86 to 50. 86 to 50. Now, New York there's over 100 Democrats in the New York State Assembly, which means they control. And they can pass anything they want. This is a Democrat bill. Every single Republican voted against this. And you can see the vote count here. So again, I want to show you what the other media is not showing you. Here are the people who voted for it. In particular, we are trying to get a comment from both Clifford Crouch, who voted against the bill, and also Donna Lopardo, who has been on the show. Both of them have been on the show before. We've spoken with them. Donna Lopardo, we want to have a comment from her. Donna Lopardo helped to get this on the floor by passing it through the committee, and she voted for it. The final actual vote is 87 to 61, which means there are many Democrats who voted against this. Donna Lopardo was not one of them. Now, why is that a big deal? Well, let's first start off with the reason why it's a big deal is that, as we reported previously, no one in New York, well, not no one, the majority of people in New York State don't want this bill. The estimates are as high as 60 some odd %, but in polls done by Siena, and you can check this out. This is the most recent poll that came out from Siena College, which was released on Monday, July 11th, June 10th, Sunday, June 10th. And it shows that in April of this year, 55% of those polled in New York oppose or are against the idea of being able to have driver's licenses for illegal aliens. In June, just before this bill was taken and passed by the New York State Senate, 53% of everyone in New York State is against it. 2% of the Democrats, who are the only people who support this, jumped vote and said, no, they don't agree with this. You saw 82% of Republicans, 55% of independents oppose this idea. The majority of New York, according to the Siena poll, a majority of New Yorkers continues to oppose allowing undocumented immigrants, that means illegal aliens, the document they're missing is any right to be in the nation, to get New York State driver's licenses. Licenses for illegal aliens is supported by Democrats as well as Black, Latino, and young voters. However, it's overwhelmingly opposed by Republicans, upstate and downstate, suburban voters, white voters, 55 years and older. There's a lot more diversity in that. But essentially, the point is, and we see that this is not the only case where we saw that. Oops, where is it? I have it here somewhere. So there's a lot, and I just want to there's a lot of research we've done on this. And I want to get you the results. Oh, there it is. And this isn't the only poll that actually shows that. Fred Akshar, State Senator Fred Akshar, back on May 10th of 2019, he did a survey on driver's licenses for undocumented, in other words, illegal aliens. And in that poll, he has the results. You can go to his site and you'll be able to see this. He was asking the constituents of the 52nd District, which is here in central New York. And he got 2,400 responses, 2,403 to be exact. 73 of them were from outside of the 52nd District. And in his poll, where he asked, should illegal aliens get a driver's license? Well, the answer is 13% said yes. Mind you, the 52nd District is very liberal, and I'll prove that in a second. But 13% said yes, 84%, this is Democrats, liberals, independents, this was a poll open to the public. 84% said no. And for those who are outside the 52nd District, 89% said no. And mind you, most people have an opinion because only 3% of the people who were asked this didn't have an answer. And how liberal is the 52nd District? Well, when you asked, he also asked in that same time, he asked, should there be the Gold Star families, should they get funding from the government? Just like illegal aliens get free college, shouldn't the children of Gold Star families, shouldn't they get free education? 97% said yes to that. Gives you an idea of where people are. So they're not against helping out families. They're not against helping anyone out. Now, there's a quote directly from Senator Fred Akshar. I'm going to say that in a moment. But I just want you to understand, this is where the people are at, not the politicians. Where are the people at? Well, the people are at that overwhelmingly, this is a quote from State Senator Fred Akshar, the overwhelming majority of residents from the 52nd Senate District who responded to our latest Community Voice survey are opposed to allowing undocumented or illegal immigrants, they're illegal, to obtain driver's licenses. I feel the same way because I believe it sends the wrong message to law-abiding individuals and their families who did the right thing, who did things the right way and immigrated to our country legally. This is from a quote from Senator Fred Akshar, State Senator Fred Akshar. And it's amazing. You know, I was listening to John Salka, Assemblyman John Salka, who's on Facebook, and he's out there. He's trying to fight against this. He mentioned that the vote initially was considered 86 to 50 in favor of. We see that the final vote was actually 87 to 61. But the problem is we are breaking our law. Now, I heard WMBF, which is a talk radio program here in the Southern Tier. He's the only one. He's mostly liberal. It's a mostly liberal program, Binghamton Now. And the host, Bob Joseph, who leans to the left, has been misrepresenting this. And I want to make sure people understand. Because people are being told, well, no, this will give, here's the good thing. This is the spin that you're hearing. And you hear this in a lot of issues throughout, where the Democrats will come out and they spin the story because they don't want you to see the actual bill. They don't want you to read the actual lines in it. And what he says is, well, the police will be able to document these illegal aliens. So if they commit a crime, like they have drunk driving accidents, if they go out and rob someone, well, we can track them down now. We can actually find them. This is what WMBF is saying to justify the fact that politicians have completely nullified the will and the vote of the public, that they have gone against the will of the people that they are there to represent, that they are obligated to fulfill. They are servants. Am I getting any of this wrong?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
So we took a look, and I know I had John the intern look this up for us to find out, hey, where is there anything in the bill that can tell us whether or not it was factually correct that, as WNBF, Bob Joseph has said, that the police would be able to have some documentation on these illegal aliens. And you know what? He's lying. He's wrong. He's absolutely abject wrong.
Fake news.
Okay? You can call it fake news, but it's not even that. It's totally misrepresenting it. Because if you go into the bill and look it up, just like I have, and I will have a link so you can read into this, it says in the bill, there it is, line 55 of section 2, the commissioner shall require any person or entity that receives or has access to records or information from the department to certify to the commissioner before such receipt or access such persons or entities shall have. Okay, and it goes on to say, here it is, shall not. So any person who gets access to the driver's license information shall not use the records for information for civil immigration purposes or to disclose such records or information to any agency that primarily enforces immigration law or to any employee or agent of such agency. Okay, there it is. The law itself says the police will not get the information on the illegal aliens. ICE will not get the information. Homeland Security will not get the information. The bill itself, and it says it in several parts. You can go to line 41 of the bill in this part 2. You can go to section 10, which is line 12. You can read this yourself. It's in several parts. 3 times in this bill, it says they will not give the information about illegal aliens who have entered the nation, broken the law, and now are getting a driver's license, and then they're going out and they're going to be able to, and they can't be found. That you can't give it to the federal government. You are violating, New York State is actively aiding and abetting illegal aliens in breaking the law of the nation. And they are preventing law enforcement from doing their job. That's what the bill says. I don't care what you hear on talk radio. The bill itself, which is why talk radio and other news media, and I showed you a couple of articles, they will not. And I'll show you another article here. This is the one from, where is it? I want to make sure. There it is. And you can take this, look at this, and you'll see for yourself. So when we look at, this is an article that comes from Rochester News. Rochester First is actually the article, and you can check this out, and you will see they do not link in their article, which is titled New York State Assembly Passes Green Light Bill, which is what they call A3675. There is no link to the actual bill itself. They won't let you read the bill itself so that they can promote this idea that there's law enforcement. This is okay. This is good. You're following the law. No. If you actually read the bill, as I just did, boring as it may be, they are actively saying that the New York State will now aid and abet criminals who are unrepentant and being able to reward them against the law, against federal law, against immigration law, against law enforcement. That they will not give them this information. Now, I had an interesting conversation with someone about this. Let's just say the reason why they're saying that this is good is because it's going to allow illegal aliens to drive and to be able to work. Stop, full stop. Illegal aliens can't work. They are illegal. They cannot get a job. So how are they driving to and from a job unless a business is breaking the law? So not only is New York State advising that they will aid and abet illegal aliens in breaking the law for entering our country, but now they are promoting businesses for breaking the law to employ those illegal aliens. Think about that for a second. That's what they're saying. We want to make sure that these illegal aliens can drive to and from work so that will benefit New York State, even though they don't pay taxes. And somehow it's going to help the economy of New York State, which is failing, by breaking additional laws, because they got a job, which means and to get the job, that means they have to have a fake social security number. So they're committing fraud. So New York State is in fact supporting fraud of someone's, they're stealing someone's identity, or they're making up a social security number. So it's either identity theft and or fraud, and they're promoting businesses and hiring illegal aliens, which is illegal. And for people who have actively broken the law and entering our nation without any authorization, that's why they're undocumented, and they are rewarding them with a driver's license. And you may say to yourself, Mike, why is all that happening? Because I believe at the end of the day, because they changed the laws in terms of voting, so that your driver's license automatically registers you to vote, and so then you can go out and vote. So illegal aliens will be able to vote. So New York is also trying to collude with foreigners to be able to vote in New York State elections. And of course, they will say after the fact, oops, it was an accident. They shouldn't have been able to vote, but they will count those votes and they will allow those votes. So they are actively allowing foreigners to be involved in New York State and citizens' votes. Elections, changing those election results. This is a problem. There is no part of this that is positive, that is good, that helps the public. This is bad. And I just wanted to highlight that on the green light bill. And there is so much more I want to talk about this, and I will talk about it on Saturday. But we're going to take a break because we're going to have our guest come in just a moment, which is Danny Krantz, talking about something completely different, most likely. And we'll be talking with her in just a few moments. We'll be back with you in a second.